This is TWiT.
So, guys, I don't know. Did you guys hear yesterday was World Emoji Day? Very big deal. Such a big deal. Every other commercial on television was about that emoji movie that is playing. But also, we were reminded yesterday of a very sad fact, and that is that once Android O comes to fruition, we'll be saying goodbye to those beautiful blobs that we've come to know all these years. Those beautiful yellow blobs that have just been us as Android users.
It's been Google's take on the emoji, and I gotta admit, when I first saw the blob emoji, I hated them, but over the years, I've come to appreciate them.
Well, now we're getting these circular guys that look like everybody else's, so there goes our individualism in the world of emojis, but I'm not bitter. I guess we'll be okay with it. And, you know, if I really need it, I could just download the sticker pack in Allo. So there's that.
I mean, that's the network we're all exchanging messages on, isn't it? Anyway, so I mean, if you're in there already, you're not missing out.
Wait, Russell, do you have Allo down under?
We do. I don't know what that actually means. Like, I think I have one person that I messaged on there, and I think I messaged them last 3 months ago. Let me just check.
Huh, that's too bad.
Still here on my home screen though. I've still got Allo. I don't know why it's on my home screen. I don't actually open this. I'm opening it right now, Flo. 5th of June is when I last sent a message on there. So see, I'm an active Allo user.
There it is.
Is that the right flag? Was that the right?
It was either that or New Zealand. Close enough. Yeah, that looks like the Australian flag.
Well, I don't know, Ron. How do you feel about the emoji?
Well, I mean, whatever. The emoji, well, we're going to find out later in the show how I feel about the emoji.
Okay.
The emoji has become a big part of our lives. And I got to admit that I'm going to miss the blob emoji because I got used to it. And also, several of the key emojis I use, I downloaded the Android O, or as they're calling it very presumptuously, the Android Oreo emoji pack for Textra. So I'm already using the Android. I moved on from the blobs in my text messages, right? And they've made some minor changes to some of my key emoji in Android O that I'm not happy about at all.
Okay, like what? Give us I'm very curious.
So for example, and I'm trying to find it in the Emojipedia to share with Brian, but my go-to emoji for a lot of my communication, especially with my girlfriend, is the hugging face.
Yeah.
Right? not because I want it to be hugging. There you go, Brian. It's in the chat, so you can show everybody here. Oh yeah, there you go. There's one. That's not Emojipedia, but that's enough. That's enough. Yeah, wait, hang on. Use this one, Brian. There you go. There's Emojipedia. Okay, so the hugging face emoji on every other emoji platform, as well as the blobs, is like a happy face with hands that go out. And to me, that doesn't really look like, it's all about the interpretation. But there, you look at the Google one, there's the blobby one. It's not really a hug, but it's more like a waka waka kind of face.
Exactly.
Hey. And so now if you go back to Emojipedia, Brian, you can see that they don't have Android O there, but they are changing it so that it's similar to Emoji 1, which is actually the hands turned inward. Right, that looks a lot like the Android O version of the hugging face, and that completely changes the tone of when I send that. So now I need to find a new go-to emoji.
You know, I've actually seen a couple of. I even wrote this, yes, and it should be going up this week about how the sweat face emoji is going to completely change with the new emoji in Android O. Yeah. It's going to mean sickly and just not feeling well, whereas I typically use it for being anxious or nervous, which is pretty much every minute of my life.
especially when Jason's not here.
Especially when Jason's not here.
So I don't know. So Russell, if you had to choose blob emoji or no blob emoji, which direction would you go?
I'm 100% in the blob camp. Like I was the same as you. When they first came out, I'm like, these are ugly. Whatever. And then they just grow on you. I don't know what it is. A few months in, you're like, these little blobs, they're so they're just, I don't know, they're little blobs and they're just so cute. And you just get so used to them. And then every now and again, I'll switch to a Samsung phone. I'll be like, what is this? Where are my blobs? And now everybody's losing the blobs. We actually had this whole controversy at Google O this year because we all got the developer preview of Android O, and the first thing people would notice, they're like, "Oh, my emoji are gone," and that caused outrage for 3 days. So I'm glad to see it's flaring back up again.
Well,
yeah,
We're gonna have to do a real in-depth. I feel like I need to do a real in-depth look at the emoji and see how they're going to fit into my life.
I mean, I gotta admit, after test driving it for a bit now with Textra, with the icon pack, with the emoji pack, they're not bad. They're good. I mean, I think it's a good change. They're definitely more. I have an issue with the fact that Apple and Google and Twitter and Facebook and there are all these different, they all want their individuality with the emoji, and there's all these variations on the emoji. I would much rather have uniformity, right?
That's what Google's going for. I mean, they had said that in their blog.
Right. So this is definitely a step in the direction of uniformity. But even then, the little variations, it can change the interpretation dramatically.
Oh, big time. I love that it's 2017 and we're talking about the interoperability of emoji. It doesn't matter about all the other communication standards. We've got to get our emoji the same.
It's one of our languages now. I mean, emoji is such a, if I really love somebody, I'm putting emoji in my texts to them because I'm taking that extra effort.
If they're on a different operating system and they get your emoji, they're like, why does Flo hate me? What's going on?
When they just see blank spaces, and I'm like, update your phone.
My favorite is and also when we have emojis on some platforms that aren't on other platforms. So instead I get an emoji and then a block of color next to it and a gender symbol.
Yes. It's lazy. That's lazy.
Yes.
Actually.
At least it's explaining to me what I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a lady.